Alright, so I've got quite a few questions today, so I'm just going to go over a couple things. First off, King, I'll start with you. So here is GSIT. This is one that's on the scanners that I've got, and this is a little bit late, but this is kind of what I'm looking for. So you're asking about time frames. I have here I just have 4 year daily. You don't quite need 4 years, but that's just what I kind of have set right now. So every tick is a day, and it's over 4 years. Now I only zoom out on like the last little bit. I could probably shorten it down a little bit, but sometimes I extend it way back when looking at historical resistance. So, and then over here I have 4 hour, 90 day. Every tick is 4 hours. This is what I generally look at for my swings. These two time frames, and I'll go through these just looking at these two charts, and then if I decide I like these, I'll write them down, and then I'll go back through my condensed list. So you can see here, uh, it bottoms out. Now this is the day that I would have bought, because on the 4 hour scanner here, or the 4 hour chart, right here, I see the RSI lag coming up. So that would have been predicting that my daily would come up. Now this big spike isn't what normally happens, but we have seen this with this, and then NOVN, which I'll look at next. So these two time frames are what I'm looking at, and then from here I'm also going to go in a little bit more when I figure out my entry, and I would have seen it comes down and bottoms out, and it's kind of riding along the bottom here. So what I don't want to see is lower lows, so I kind of see higher highs on this day. Uh, Not too clear, but I don't mind that. So yeah, this would have been a good buy right here. So now we'll go to the next one. I'll show you a couple of them here. AT. This one seems to be setting up. So if I zoom in here on the daily, my RSI lag is coming out of the bottom. Now it's a little choppy. I would rather it not be quite as choppy and come break off the bottom like this. So I'm not too keen on this one, but you can see this is actually a double top here. So I'm not too sure how I feel about this one, but as far as like indicator wise, if this stayed along the bottom and then broke up, but also you see on the 4 hour, this is what I would like to see here, is this break up here. So I'm not saying I like this one, but I was just searching for a couple that are kind of close to the setup that I like. CERS. So here we see good fractal energy up above 61.8, and this last day that we traded, it broke up out of the bottom here. So generally when I see, like, if it's along this bottom line for a while and then I start to see a lift off here, I'm not waiting until it gets all the way above 0.2 before I take the trade, because it's been so long and now it's showing some bullish movement. So when I noticed that it gapped up, I probably would have waited a little bit and then maybe got into this trade. And it looks to continue here. It hit the bottom there. So it didn't really give us a good clear bottom, and even out a little bit, it kind of took off pretty early. But this is a little bit choppier than I'd like to. They've been choppy as of lately. I kind of look for some that show not so choppy. Like RTK is another one. I've been playing RTK because it follows the indicator so well. So here I get my buy coming off the bottom here, and then I could have rode it all the way up to here, which would have been my sell point, or whenever I decided to get out before then, based on other charts. I don't usually sell off of the daily. I'll sell off of something, some other sign, or whenever I feel like I need to take profits. And then here, we would have seen, boom, another good entry breaking off the bottom. Here, probably 4 hours indicative, or predicting here. Yep, see, so on the second entry, my 4 hour, boom, would have gave me a buy right there. So I would have been in the day, well, the end of this day right here. And then again, you know, ride it up to an exit here, somewhere around that area, and then back down to here, and then my latest buy right here. Not quite to the point two, like I said, but so yeah, now we're kind of getting a little choppy here. It comes down, doesn't touch on the bottom, so I don't really like when it doesn't touch and fall along the bottom for a while. So we'll see what happens from here on out. NOVN. This is the trade we made the other day. This was Investing Clowns. I think I got a longer video on it. But I love these gap downs, and it stays along the bottom. You can see this fractal energy is just pegged out, and then it crosses here on this day. And the 4 hour was also picking that up as well. I think it was actually back here, yeah, when this fractal energy came up. So somewhere around when it crossed out of here. Now it did bottom back under here, but it held pretty well, and then we saw this really nice spike here. Oh, I just got your message. Yeah, I was just gonna make a video real quick for you guys. Probably picking it up a little bit late, but I was just gonna make a quick one. So yeah, that's a few that I kind of worked through there off of these different time frames. Let me get to Remington Burke wanted me to take a look at Groupon. So this is a little bit choppy for my liking. I think I was looking at this for a shorter duration play, or maybe it was the other day. Yeah, I don't really like when it gaps up this high. I just don't like to buy in there. Yeah, to me it's just really choppy. I would have liked a buy, you know, back in this area. But for right now, it could be good to go. Well, because this is still topped out. Yeah, so it hasn't given us a sell signal yet. So I would be looking at, well, your 1 hour is getting ready to go again. Your 4 hours just choppy, and your energy's so low. So it's probably going to consolidate there for a while before it makes a move, or it'll consolidate back. But as far as the time frames, King, I'll just show you since you're in here. So GSIT, this is a pretty good one. So when I'm going through my scan, so my scans over here, I was talking to somebody else too about your scan results. So I got my scan results over here, and I'm just hitting this down arrow because I have it linked. So red, this red link, and this red link. So I have my 4 hour time frame, 90 days, 4 hours, 4 years on the, and every tick is a day. Now I don't quite need 4 years, but I'll use it for like historical resistances and stuff like that. So it's just kind of stock that I have in there, but I usually, you know, zoom in quite a bit into like here or so. Come on, there we go. Something like that. That's all I really need to see. So GSIT. There we go. So into my time frames here. So I got my daily chart here. So every tick is a day, and I'm looking for this thing to be, well, more so on my daily. The daily rules all. So I'm looking for my daily to be bottomed out for a while and then cross up. Now this, it would have been my 4 hour. I'll use that more for scan results, is when my my 4 hours coming out of the bottom, and my daily is still at the bottom or near the bottom. So let me do this for you real quick. Time level. Oops. That's why. Okay, so you can kind of see what I'm like looking at. This red line is showing, well, it'd be over here just a little bit closer, but this is the same exact time on both time frames. So if this was back, hell, I could even go on demand and show you. I'll do it real quick. 12:13. So my daily is even coming up off the bottom, so that's not a bad indicator. But my 4 hour here, I'll just remove these guys. So my date or my 4 hours popping and my daily is along the bottom. So that means that my 4 hour is forward leaning and my daily is likely to follow. So I would have taken this trade right here. This is one of my favorites. It's coming down. It kind of sets the bottom down here, and then we start to see some movement upwards. And then my 4 hour shows me that. The energy, it's kind of weird. You got to kind of just get some reps in with that. But the energy, this shows it's exhausted, but it's not directional. So it's below the 38.2, which means a new trend is likely to start. But it doesn't show direction. So this could be, my bearish movement is being exhausted. In this case, that's what it shows. And again here, like the same thing. The energy, although it does matter to me, it's the second thing I look at. I'm looking mostly at this blue RSI lag, and that's the one you should be paying closer attention to. So do you kind of get that between my time frames, my indicator, and kind of what I'm looking for? If you start diving into like closer time frames, like I can go down to the hour, and like I can start driving myself nuts, like, oh well, it's breaking out of the bottom, on the hourly. Well, it should be going up. Well, yeah, but it's only going to go up a little bit. So just stick to the daily and the 4 hour. And then once you get those down, you can kind of learn how the rest of the shorter term cycles work. Cool. You got anything else? Call option right before earnings, JYN. Let me go back out of here. I personally like to avoid all earnings and just play without any of the earnings garbage that goes on, I guess you could say. But if it does look good, then maybe I'll play it. Yeah, so this is just really choppy for me. The daily does look good, but it could easily like top out real quick and then come back down. But what I do like here is that it sets this bottom and then we come up off the bottom here. So that's what I'm really looking for, is it set that bottom and then come up, and even if it preferably comes just a little bit higher than this, or to where it breaks these previous, I guess, highs here, even their lower highs. But yeah, to me, it's just a little choppy. Yeah, exactly. See, you start getting into different time frames, and you're like, oh, it looks good on the 30-minute or something like that. If you just stick to a couple time frames, it definitely will help you out in the long run. I'll do AMD quick. So this is one that I really like. You can see we're getting some like consolidation backwards because the energy is so exhausted. Now this has been running like a freaking monster, like everybody knows. So it doesn't need much energy. It just needs to get above that 38.2, and enough energy to just run a little bit. But you can see this is bottomed out, and my 4-hour is coming off the bottom. So that's why I took this trade. Oh, let's see here. I'm still paper trading, so I can't even pull it up in here because it's my live account. I took the 13.15 vertical call options. But I really like it long term. I've done a lot of DDA on the company, so I like it longer term. So I might come down and also do like a July 17 vertical, probably something like $3 wide spread. Something like this. Because as you can see, the odds are in my favor right now. I can make twice as much as I can lose. So even if I wanted to get real crazy with it, custom, so like 5 and 3, something like this. I gotta play around with it, but this is what Remington likes to do, is buy more than what he's selling. So alright, well I just wanted to show you a few things. I know, I gotta roll though. I just wanted to get on and answer a couple questions. It's easier to do it like this than try to, like, I was gonna take screenshots and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's easier if I just get on here and make a video real quick. So if you have any more questions, just let me know. Free tonight and stuff like that, so I'll be able to answer. Alright, man. Okay. Oh, PETX. I'll look at one more. Good gap down here. The 4-hour is cycling down though. Commercial delay. Yeah, I would wait for. I love these gap down plays. Actually, this is I learned this from Luca. He does a lot of gap down swings, or he used to before he started day trading a little bit more. So yeah, it would be on a watch for me, but I think that this is going to cycle back down, and probably it would be real nice if it came down and had a double bottom here and then came off the bottom again. The fractal energy is high though, we're at 67, so that's good. A new trend is likely to start, so yeah, I would definitely be keeping my eye on this, but I don't like it just yet. Alright, man. I will catch you later. There's pretty much everything I started going over at the start. There's just a couple more tickers, but nothing too crazy. We'll catch you later though, King.